got Taylor at shortstop. How often do you expect to play him in spring games?
I think quite a bit. I think to have him take down, get more familiar with short, play left field, take some innings at third base, I think that's sort of how we see it. But to have him and Miguel go back and forth, I think that's kind of what we see it right now in spring.
Is there any concern that coming off the elbow surgery last year, you guys trade for Rojas to be kind of that guy at short, that the elbow won't respond, or everybody's pretty confident that at this point it will?
At this point we are, and everything is kind of trending in the right direction as far as arm strength. The health is there. So now it's just the bet on the player, the person, and we feel good about CT, obviously.
Does he become less of a part of the center field mix?
Yes.
Because of that?
Yep. Less of the center field mix, where now we're sort of looking at the guys that we have, and obviously Jay Hay and Outman, Trace. Yeah.
Those guys were Peralta, Trace, Hayward. Like, it seemed like they were going to be more in a platoon role, kind of piecing it together out there. Are you guys comfortable if they have to be more like everyday players?
Well, I think I do see more of Jason and David more platoon. I think that with what Trace has shown, I think that it doesn't necessarily have to be that. So I think that we feel good about that. And just a little note is that I'm going to get Peralta some innings in center field just to prepare for the WBC. So,
how do you feel about that group defensively in center field?
I like it a lot. I do. I think Trace is long. I think he's good out there. I think Jason can be more than adequate as far as length, foot speed, getting jumps on the ball, angles, and then I think James is a really good defender as well. So center field, then you kind of layer in the corners. I feel good about the outfield defense. I do.
How much more important is it for Miguel to really be a guy who can take down second base consistently defensively now that you don't have Rojas there as a bit of a safety net?
It's important. It's very important. I think that we can bet on the bat, but the defense of just understanding, getting better each day. But I do think that having Miguel Rojas there as a veteran kind of counterpart, I think is going to help him, and having Freddie to his left. So, but it is important. It's you're going to learn on the fly, but you have to really, that sense of urgency, which he already has, that to get better.
Is there going to be a certain amount of growing pains there this spring with him going into the season? Like, kind of what do you need to see to reach that comfort level going into the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's to be expected. It's part of experience. But as long as the intent, the way he's preparing is good, then I think there's going to be some growing pains. That goes without saying.
It's not like the roster was like a push button thing the previous few years, but you had kind of a set idea. Does any part of you appreciate the challenge of having it a little bit different this year, trying to make some decisions at this point in the year?
You know what? I do. A lot of me likes whether it's a challenge or you see a little bit more kind of open competition. I think in years past, Andrew and the guys have done a great job of kind of, it's a turnkey as far as rosters. Guys know their roles, positions and things like that. But now there's still a lot of pieces in place, but there's some spots, we've got to try to kind of still suss out. And I think that's, I think it's a good kind of vibe in the clubhouse.
Yeah. In what way?
I just think that, to come into camp and know that unless something crazy happens, you're relegated to 150 at-bats. Now there's an opportunity, which it should be a meritocracy, and you perform and you get more opportunities. And so I think it's healthy to have some. Yeah.
Is your day-to-day any different?
I would say it's a little bit more different in the sense that just trying to make more connections with new players here. And not only the young players, but players that are key pieces for this year's big league ball club too. Yeah.
Assuming that Taylor shows defensively he's fine, the arm is fine at shortstop, how do you see that mix between him and Rojas?
Yeah,
What?
I would say, I mean, it's going to change, I'm sure, but I think 80-20, 75-25, something like that.
With Rojas getting the
Correct,
majority.
and then CT kind of peeling off to the left and some third, so kind of like that. But as far as playing time, I see, CT playing quite a bit. Yeah.
How adaptable are you guys going to have to be? It seems like a lot of different guys are going to be, potentially asked to do a lot of different roles defensively this year.
Well, I don't know if, when you're playing outfield, whether you're bouncing from left to center or center to right, I wouldn't say that's really much of a role. I think CT has kind of understood his value with the ball club. I think Max and Vargas kind of know what they're doing. And then, so you're looking at, when you play, when you don't. So I think we have good pieces, and it's just my job to make guys stay current. So I don't think that part of it is that, Jason's had that sort of role for the last couple of years. I think David, same thing. Trace has kind of found his way back, which is good too.
How much of the last 36 hours has been just kind of these like thought exercises and trying? A lot of
it. There's the initial part of it is the sensitivity towards Gavin and making sure you don't want to feel like we're just moving on. That's not true, but you do got to move on. So, yeah.
Vargas, you ready to take the handcuffs off?
So Miguel is doing coach's batting practice in the cage today. And I think Friday is going to be an off day, a full off day, and then Saturday he'll be back playing, and hopefully after the off day he'll be the green lighted to swing the bat during a game.
How did Kershaw come out of his?
Clayton came out of it really well. He said so. The ball was coming out too, so it was good. He felt good about it.
See him in a game anytime soon?
So I would say that. He's on the 5 days, so obviously he's a day 2 guy, I think, or so he'll throw another pen, and then I guess we'll see where it goes from there.